very notable person from the academia. He is a professor of English and he is the director of the community college, the St. Joseph's Community College. And through his work at the St. Joseph's Community College and outside, he has been working very hard for the upliftment of the society, of the poor, of the downtrodden in Bangalore and in the other parts of Karnataka as well. Please put your hands together and welcome our chief guest for the day, Father Francis Guntipilli.
Distinguished guests and Toastmasters. I have been protesting and telling your leaders that I'm not the right man for this occasion. In spite of my protests, I've been called here and given this punishment. I don't have the wit of Mr. Robinson, nor the capability of many of your Toastmasters who could speak eloquently. I fail in many ways, so please bear with me. Something I just heard, that you began in Ashirvad in 1996, this Toastmasters Club. I must tell you, I began my career at Ashirvad in 1981, along with Father Claude D'Souza, as a social worker. We began starting a new center called Center for Non-Formal and Continuing Education. And I was made the coordinator, and I didn't know a thing about it except that I was talking and not producing much. We did make a change. We did bring about a lot of changes. In those days, getting through the red tape and getting information from various quarters was very difficult, and especially for the NGOs, to get information even about the allocations of funds for rural development, development of people, nothing was available. Everything was, hidden in secrecy, thanks to the RTI that we are now able to discover more about it. But at that time, and therefore we explored quite a lot of things, brought out brochures on various districts, distributed to the various NGOs and said, these are your funds, fight for it, get it. So that's the way I began my life there, along with Father Claude D'Souza, and he knows him well. He was at that time the secretary to the minister, Blasius D'Souza, who happened to be the brother of Claude D'Souza. And that is how I came to know Mr. Robinson D'Souza at that time. And we also, went to his office, put out a few things, and made use of them for bringing out brochures of that kind. Again, in 2005, the community college started in the same premises where we began the Center for Non-Formal and Continuing Education at Ashirvad. So I think there is something common between you and us, or you and me, that we began there and we continue to develop. And your theme seems to be explore, ideate, and change. I think going back to my life itself was a continual exploration. The thing is, what I would tell myself is, don't leave any stone unturned for anything. Today, for example, I was out in Banerghatta Road and things like that, trying to find out, there's a lot of money for development for skill development, and the only thing is we can't lay hands on them. So how to lay, where to go, whom to catch, what to do was my exploration the whole day that I did today. Of course, there is a big program on skill development, there's a big program in HRD department and also in rural development department, but then the right people don't get it. And And that's what I was looking for. What are the opportunities and possibilities? And never get deterred because you didn't get it, but then go doggedly at it. And I think it pays off in many senses. And as he narrated the story of Sachin Tendulkar, where he began and nothing really seemed to come out, and 21 years and many more years, I think we need to fight. Fight for a cause, and the cause will keep you going and give meaning to one's life. I like the idea that Mr. Bosco was talking about. It's if your aim and purpose is not only your achievement, your progress, your development, but it is something that the society has given to you to progress, and therefore what you can return to society, I think, is the best ideal I have ever seen. Today, one young man from the slums of Austin town came to me and asked me, said, "Father, see, I have a problem. People are not grateful for what we have done." I said, "Why you should feel grateful? I mean, why should they be coming and communicating to you that they are grateful to you for what you have done? It's not necessary." I told them, if today I have been able to reach out to many people, it's because many have joined hands with me. It's not only my effort. On the other hand, when I give to others, it's only my duty that I'm doing. If people are saying thank you, fine, it's good. But if they don't say thank you, so much the better. Because in any kind of religious concepts, you will come about saying, Nishkama Karma would be the Gita concept, saying you do things and don't expect anything in reward. Because if you receive a reward, everything is over. Jesus has said the same thing. He said, let your left hand not know what your right hand is doing, because that's where, if it is known and if you proclaim and if everybody comes to know, I think you have already had your reward. And this is exactly what we need to look at. Second thing I would like to say is, I think you are in the business of communication. And I have seen over the past 5 years what this communication has done to many rural students who came to me, to many from the urban areas who have come to me, who have made big progress. I'll give you one example of one of my students, the first batch, started in Ashirwad. His name is Vincent. He came from Tamil Nadu, had just scraped through his pre-university, couldn't utter a word of English. And he did a 6 months program with me. And then I trained him also in hospitality, and he did hospitality. For his own living, he was staying with somebody who was doing catering, and he was getting some food out of that catering, and that is how he was making his life. Then after he finished with me, he joined Shoppers Stoppers. There he got 4,500 as salary. Now in 5 years' time, he is the manager in E-Yantra, and he is able to procure a business of more than 1 crore on just your, what do you call this, papers and things like that which you sell, stationery items. He is able to sell 1 crore and more in just 3 months. And now he is saying, I'll come back to you with the registration of a company of my own, because why should I make the other company get all the profits? And he's drawing about 35,000 rupees today. Just a matter of 5 years. And in that, he finished his graduation, and then his big ambition was only to become a teacher. And he came back to me and said, Father, I'm going to do my B.Ed. I said, stop it. don't waste your time doing B.Ed. It's not going to give you any money. Not that I'm discouraging all teachers here. but then he did do his B.Ed, gave up his studies, gave up his work, did do his B.Ed, and finally he came back and said, job. I said, what job? Go back to your job that you were doing. And he was thankful to me because I gave him that advice. There was another case, I can go on narrating cases. There was another chap called John Paul. He came, if you know Tamil, you'll say he's a pattikata. Uncouth to the core, that's number one. Number two, can't utter a word in English. Today he is a supervisor in Manipal County in one of the restaurants, and he's doing well. And he was known for his dedicated service, and they still call me up and say, your John Paul is doing well, why didn't you send many more such? And we thought he was mentally deranged, and therefore he needed psychological counseling and so on, but I was proved wrong. He was very intelligent. Unfortunately, he didn't have that communication capability, and therefore we were not able to communicate. And the only thing that he was good at was Tamil songs, and he would sing on any occasion Tamil song. We said, John Paul, Tamil song, today is his festival, whatever it is. And then he came up, and from the knees knocking time to being bold enough to sing his songs was the beginning. And later on he was able to do much better work than what I expected him to do. So I could really confirm and say communication is the thing that can really transform lives, especially in the job sectors today. I know many engineers, many doctors, and I think recently I was at St. Aloysius College, Mangalore, talking to them about soft skills. And while I was reading some material on that, they told me nearly 70% of them are not able to get jobs in spite of their post-graduation and graduation in engineering, precisely because their communications are wrong. They are not able to communicate. They are not able to work in a team. They are not able to move around well. So I think Toastmasters have got a big job on hand, not only, as I said, for this group, but also include other groups. And I would say there's a large majority of the unheard of people. The other day I was discussing a matter with Wadhwani Foundation, and he was talking big things. He said, like St. Joseph's Commerce College, we have some prestigious institutions, we will be able to go with them. I said, to whom are you talking? About what? I said 66% of the youth drop out before SSLC, and of the 34% who pass SSLC, only about 20% move up to the pre-university level, and only 6% graduate, and according to somebody else, it's 7% graduate. Now, a large majority are thrown by the wayside, and especially if they are coming from Kannada medium, there are so many who are left down the drain. What are we doing for them, about them? Many plannings are done, but these are normally excluded. And I dare say, with globalization, the exclusions of such majority is becoming greater and greater, because the IT sector, the BPO sector, all pick up only the upper crust of the population and not the lower crust, and many are left behind. And that is a challenging task, and I think I call upon you to address that task as well. It is true, your progress, your development is important, but I think there's a large majority who are left behind, and they are knocking at your doors, and it is now that you dedicate yourself on the 750th meeting that you would go beyond. You would go beyond the portals of this room, go beyond the world that you have seen to a less known world, less known addressed people, and there you will shine much better and stand aloft. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Father, for that wonderful address. May you please accept this small token of appreciation from the side of the club. I've always felt that I was very lucky to be born in a city which had amazing educational institutions, studied in an English medium school, got the best coaching for IIT, JEE examination, was able to become an engineer without getting any kind of a break in my studies. But today, Father Francis Guntikali's address, it just touched a chord. And I believe the committee members, we as committee members, we have the tools in our hand. Toastmaster International, it has given us speechcraft sessions. It has given us youth leadership sessions that we can use. We can leverage on these tools to spread the message of Toastmasters far and across outside the English-speaking community. We can leverage these tools. We have these tools in our hand. All that is needed is to use them. Thank you very much, Father Francis, for that wonderful address. Thank you very much.